Greetings everybody, welcome back to episode 3 of our particular game here, and let us see if we could make heads and tails of what's going on, maybe continue to evade the police a little bit longer. We shall see. Wait a second, I thought Oh, I guess the game only saves at the beginning of the scene. So in other words, I have to retrace my steps. I guess to make good on the actual or I could play this along at a slightly different pace and see what happens. Okay, well, I guess what did I pick? I think I picked this one. My first move, I don't really want to. I didn't really want to, right, so let's just kind of backtrack to what I did before with all the same steps, because I don't want to, there, and I'll pick that one, and this one. And this one, right, and then we went and stormed the castle. So, I mean, if you're watching this video without watching the others, of course this wouldn't make too much sense. I'm just picking the same choices that I did before. That one got her pretty pissed off at me, and then take the front way, and we said, I'm a historian here to see the ruins, and are you really going to shoot a civilian? I'm just trying to remember. Took his weapon from him, basically knocked him out, went in and looked around. Approach with caution, I believe. If I'm picking something here, I waited for her to say something, and they'll have nothing worse than a headache. And right, and the father, right, and then there was the coffee. Give her, she had good taste, etc. And you'll be safe. There we go. There we go. Okay, and then the truck ran down the slopes right here, away from the prison. And that's where I last saved. Now I know, and I won't be trying to play out a scene first before trying to save. So sorry about that, and sorry for the delay. Let's go to take the path to Biaska. Fraulein was driving, so 3 question marks, 2, 1, I don't know, 2 footsteps. So 2 marks. The Fraulein drove like a thing possessed. She positively whooped after each corner, as though she hadn't expected to clear the bend without turning us turtle. Yeah, okay. She was driving so fast that I couldn't throw her out. I enjoyed the ride. It's a good thing Bercoli and Louisa couldn't see it. Let's stick with this and see where it goes. Reminded me of one of those motor rallies we used to have when we were up at Oxford. Do you remember those, Aubrey? Louisa's voice was growing louder from the back, quavering, and not just from the bumps on the road. Papa, isn't that a German lady? Papa, what have you done? You'll have a mutiny on your hands soon enough, I warned the Fraulein, or I pulled out the Mauser and pushed it quietly against the Fraulein's ribs. You must be getting tired, Fraulein. Let me take the wheel. So, where are we going? Why don't we work out a deal? Let's do that and see what happens. How kind you are, she shouted back over the wind and grinding engine. But I rather like driving, especially big trucks. Have you ever driven a truck? It's like being a giant. She was genuinely enjoying herself. Honestly, Aubrey, I was beginning to wonder if she wasn't... I have no idea how to say that word, and I'm sorry. I'm not even going to try at all, and just some ruddy freelancer. I gave up on conversation and held on, white-knuckled to the dashboard for the rest of the ride. Alright, I suppose I could have done something a little differently. Uh-oh, I left. We've got 2 footprints. It seems that I keep on having close evasions. I don't know. The truck squealed to a stop outside an important-looking building. Get out, said the Fraulein. She sounded almost bored all of a sudden. Go in there. You forgot who's holding the gun. I'll go where I choose. Ladies first. She made no sign of leaving the driver's seat of the truck. I raised an eyebrow. They don't allow women in there. And don't look so surprised. You English clubs are just as bad. You wouldn't have found the clubhouse the least bit impressive, Aubrey. Should I take Vercoli in there with me? Who's inside? Oh, you know, Smith. My people are much like yours, I expect, replied Wolf with a look of sour disdain. Men who loll about all day in nice clubs waiting for cables and Italian girls. She paused to adjust her hair in the mirror. In you go, then. Quickly now. Not until I have some answers. I'd waited long enough. What's so special about the girl? What does she know? I couldn't tell you. But the agents in there can, she said, pointing at the clubhouse door. If you pretend you know more than you do, I'm sure they'll let it slip. She grinned one of her more childish grins. Now go, I'm cold, and I want you to deliver me a bratwurst. Then she blew the horn of the truck. The sound rolled around the valley like a stone in a barrel. Is this really the only... Alright, let's just take it. It's the only option I got without involving a gun or violence or some kind of a... I don't know. Into the lion's den. Or so I thought. Act 2. Cross and double cross. Wonder if this game is going to let me go to the end if the police keep on getting to me, if I leave enough footsteps. Messy Club. And that's the only place I can go. We have got that airplane flying over an awful lot. It seems to be surveilling me. Yes, I'm paranoid. No, I am not. It doesn't matter. The clubhouse was dimly lit, comfortably quiet space. Gas lamps on the tables, a single electric bulb above the bar. The air thick with wood smoke, cigar smoke, and roasted cheese. Cleared my throat to announce myself. I pulled my collar up and slunk across the room. I silently walked into the room. Slunk across the room, or let's walk silently into the room. 2 men on one side were playing chess. One was falling asleep, while the other chewed his mustache, tips in concentration. I know it's mustache. I don't know why. I can't remember. It was like a movie or something, somewhere. All of a sudden I'm saying mustache. Sorry about that. On the other side, a man was intently tearing a newspaper into strips and burning them in the flame of a table lamp. No one seemed to notice me. A waiter slid over as though on skates. Signor, he began. I believe I'm expected. The Germans. Where are the Germans? What is this place? Well, I suppose let's take the sort of the hint that the Fraulein gave us. The waiter looked around the room with a carefully composed blank expression. Not by any of these gentlemen, I think, he replied. I produced a 20-franc note. I'm looking for the Germans. Huh. Let's... Note. The Fraulein has double-crossed you. The man looked at it with mild curiosity, as though it was a curiously shaped leaf. That was the moment I heard the engine of the truck outside roaring to life. You must think me a perfect plum, Aubrey. I turned and raced for the door. I swore like a pirate for several minutes. Alright, let's see where this goes. And you'd be right. I've been a ruddy fool. I could have kicked myself. As it was, I swore heartily, and for some time the waiter at my elbow coughed politely. Perhaps Senior would like to become a member. I am the clueless fool. Yep. Let's keep on playing the clueless fool part. And so we're going to hike over to Livorno. We stole a car from outside the club and gave chase. Ah. That's not good. It keeps on doing the... They almost had me. Alright, to the next town. And who knows if we can find the truck. We're outside another beer house, it looks like. Alright, let's go in. It was getting dark. I was driving through the valley without my lights on, hoping for a stroke of luck. Then I had one in Livorno. That was the truck. The Fraulein had pulled up in front of a little tavern. Maybe she had been hoping I would find her. I clambered into the back of the truck to wait out the night, or I stormed inside to confront her, or, first things first, I cut the fuel line on the truck. I suppose I could continue the... I don't know. Right? She double-crossed me first. Do I want to... Alright, I'm gonna cut the lines. You sabotage the Fraulein's truck. No idea how it would play out, but it is good to know something your opponent doesn't, and I couldn't risk the Fraulein slipping away again. Let's go in. And inside the tavern, there she was, all alone at a table, nursing a mug of beer. Her face lit up when I entered. Smith! I'll be honest, Smith, I did miss you. Please join me. She gestured to the empty chair opposite her. I sat down. The others have gone to bed already, which leaves you and me, she grimaced. You and I have a problem, wouldn't you say? The innkeeper appeared with a plate of sausages, and we fell silent. You're in Livorno to see sorry, I don't know how to read any of these words. Yes? The man asked. The Fraulein rolled her eyes. What is that? I said nothing. Let's play along. The man looked pleased to hear this. We both do, I continued. Don't we, darling? Oh, yes, she replied sarcastically. The smell is enchanting. Everybody comes here for our thingy. You'll see, it's very special. With that, he shuffled away. Well, darling, Fraulein sighed. Where were we? Why'd you bring me into this? What do you want out of this? We'll have to ask the Italians what they want to do. What do you want out of this? I want the girl, of course. If she truly knows what the Italians believe, well, I'll most likely get a medal once she's safely in Germany. She sipped the dregs of her beer. Now, Smith, tell me, what is it that you want? I want that girl and her father to be safe, or... Depends on what you're offering. That seems... This seems too... calculated. This seems like just kind of the clueless good guy. Let's do this. Oh, please, said Wolf, and laughed. You know precisely what I mean. She raised a finger and poked me in the chest. What do you need to satisfy your masters and walk away with this, with head held high? Information, of course. Whatever that girl has will be valuable to England. Want this to end without bloodshed. I want you to defect to our side. Let's see where this goes. You serious? She laughed and stopped laughing. My God, but you are serious. There's a war coming, and your side will lose. Again. You could work for us as a double agent. This is a chance for you to do some good. Play the goodness card. Or play the scheming card. Or play the threatening card. These postcards sure have a lot of stamps, I tell you. Let's do this and see where this goes. Uh-oh, that was not a good thing. She's losing interest in you. You misjudged me, Mr. Smith, she said sharply. She was the serious one now. I do not choose the side that I think will win. I choose the side that is right. Uh-oh. Why did you bring me into this? Then you are the one who is misjudging things. Let's play a red card for the first time. Oh, but darling, you don't know, said Wolf, affecting surprise. You're my knight in shining armor. I brought you to rescue the girl for me and to provide target practice for those Italian soldiers while I got her away. You were supposed to break her out and then, well... She shrugged. You were supposed to drop dead or get lost, but you didn't, and so here we are. She finished her beer. Seems to me there are two possibilities. Either I am your prisoner or you are mine. I have the gun. Let's wrestle. Either this or this, I guess. Oh my gosh. Don't want to make any threats, so let's go with this, see what this goes. It's okay if she loses interest. It's not a big deal. Oh, but I don't want to be safe. I want to be marvelous. You want me to stand aside so we can succeed? Really, I just want to survive the war. Marvelous spies don't invite enemy agents into their operations. Let's see where this goes. She smiled, but I'd riled her. You'll make such a good trophy, Smith. When this is over, I'll have your head stuffed and hung on our office wall. You can have my hat. And yet I seem to have the gun. What do you propose we do? Flip a coin? Let's see where this goes. Alright, why not? She produced a 10-cent centième piece from her pocket. Heads or tails? Heads. Tails. Heads or tails, I'm walking out of here with all three of you. I played blue, so let's play blue. She rested the coin on her thumbnail, chewed her lip, looked at me, flipped it. The coin spun through the air. She caught it and slapped it on her bare arm. I waited. She raised her cupped hand to take a look, then hit the coin again. Enough of this. I'm going to bed. So, heads or tails? I won, haven't I? Let's keep on playing the blue card. She considered for a moment. I'll show you. She lifted her hand. That's kind of an ominous place. Germany invades Poland. In the early hours this morning, Germany troops marched across the border into Poland. Germany's Chancellor, Adolf Hitler, alleges the invasion is in response to an attack last night by Polish soldiers on a radio tower near the German border city of Gliwice. Polish leaders issued statements calling on their allies, Britain and France, to mount a military response in accordance with the agreement signed between the three nations earlier this year. September 1st, 1939. Well, I got the truck. Wait. Both the Fraulein and I got up early in hopes of getting away before the other. It did neither of us any good. The Italian slept until nearly 10. So we found ourselves sitting on the doorsteps of the tavern together, sipping coffee and looking across the valley at the mountains. Beautiful, I remarked. It came up heads, you know. You were quick, but I saw it. Oh, but I picked tails, didn't I? Okay, so there's a... So, where to today? So, it looks like the game doesn't necessarily remember what I picked there. Let's just be a hopeless romantic there. So much potential, the Fraulein agreed. The Italians appeared and we ate breakfast together. Once finished, bundled ourselves into the truck, Wolf reaching the driver's seat first. Fraulein turned the key ignition, nothing happened. Scheiße. There's something wrong? I'll take a look. Let me try it. Really? How curious. I'll just do that. I'll take a look. Fix it, she hissed. I got down from the cab. The smell of petrol was obvious enough for me, but I said nothing. I mentioned the Vercoulis wordlessly towards the car taken from Bianca. Moving to the back of the van, I gestured for the Italians to come out. Dramatically, Vercouli, Louisa, come and help me. I caught Louisa's eye through the window of the van and winked. Well, let's do that. Louisa, trust me. All right. She looked confused for a moment and then took a long out breath. Ooh, she slipped quietly out of the back of the truck, leading her father along behind. Vercouli followed quickly, for I was still fighting with the engine. We slipped away in the car as quietly as we could. But I couldn't resist gloating. Let's just slip away and see what happens. By the time she had a chance to notice, we were gone. Oh, snap. Well, certainly that would make sense, right? We got double-crossed. And then, so, she deserved. She had everything coming. I started the car and slid away as silent as we could. And she's gonna send the police after us this time. The road wandered through the valley like a drunk, going backwards almost as much as it went forwards, sometimes climbing, sometimes falling steeply away. There is a tunnel at the end of this valley, Louisa remarked to no one in particular. I saw it marked on a map back in the castle. Why were the soldiers showing a map? Is this valley going to end? That's the Gotthard Tunnel. It's the rail line out of Airolo. How does he know? Well, he is an agent after all. Let's play it and see what happens. I don't mean that one. That one's 57 kilometers long. This one's short and narrow, only a few meters wide. I turned to glance at Bercoli, who shrugged. My daughter's usually right about these things. I could almost believe it, Aubrey. At least Louisa was beginning to remind me of some of the girls we knew up at Oxford, always throwing a chap off guard with some clever fact or other. Alright, we're off to Ambry. Route risky. I guess, am I adding to the footprints every single time? I'm not really sure. It looks like there's a lot more people here, and seems to be a race. Is that a race? A carnival or race or something. There's our car. It's a parade of sorts, and we just got chased out of town. Aubrey, let me introduce you to the wonderful little hamlet of Ambry. Let me also introduce its marvelous tradition of dressing cattle up like maidens at a midsummer maypole and parading them through the streets. It began honestly with the echo of 100 toneless bells. We were making slow progress already due to people clogging up the roads to see the cows. I accelerated at the first sign of trouble. It began honestly. Let's keep the purple, I guess. So we were making slow progress already due to people clogging up the roads to see the cows. Behind the cows were the cattle drivers, yodeling and hollering to jolly them along. The creatures themselves were adorned with garlands of flowers and ribbons. A bit too floral for my taste, or it was quite delightful, or I had a mind to join the yodeling. Let's just observe. Why don't we have traditions like this in England, Aubrey? It makes our British farmers seem rather dour in comparison. We must have driven right into the middle of the event. That festival the innkeeper told us about. The car was useless. We left in the road, wound our way between the cattle on foot. At least no one will be able to follow us. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Next step. Ooh. Alright, so we have got this path, the Oratorio di Santa Barbara, or the path to Airolo. We lost no time in hiking uphill away from the road. And let's go. Uh-oh. One diversion to footprints. Route safe. I mean, they're hot on your tail, so stay on your toes. Oratorio di Santa Barbara. And suddenly, Aubrey, we were at peace. Surrounded by the mountains, we walked side by side. Sometimes in silence, sometimes talking. You should tell me what it is you know. Let's try to scout out a little bit of information. Louisa was quiet, thoughtful. So because I refused to tell my own government about it, you think I'll tell yours instead? Yes, I assume you were on our side. Then you assume wrong. Now, whose side are you on anyway? Or then, don't you want to be on the side of democracy, of decency? This isn't a game. Let's see where this takes us. Is that what your country is fighting for? The glorious British Empire, she scoffed. All you English have ever done is help yourselves. Then you write books about how you are doing in the world a great service. Don't rattle me. This kind of talk, I've had it in Milan. Sorry, this is the narrator. Doesn't rattle me. This kind of talk, I've had it in Milan along the resistance fighters. If I could convince those al dente fellows to work with me, I could convince her. You don't have to like me, or my government, to be on your side. Well, perhaps my government is evil, but we're still out here, together, today. Britain will bring down Mussolini and the Nazis. Well, let's go with the observant. I caught her arm for a moment. We can be allies. We must be. Allies against fascists. Because if we don't all fight them together, our precious principles won't be worth a damn. Well, locked up, or worse. I was holding her too tightly. I opened my grip. You maybe have a point, she said quietly. Maybe I'll think about it. Alright, so here we are. We've got, well, basically just church bell. Really tall building. Chapel. A tiny chapel sat on the ledge overlooking the lower slopes. A few goats were chewing about the weeds that fringed its whitewashed walls. I have not taken confession in many weeks, Louisa remarked. There may be a priest inside. You're Catholic? There's no one here, just an altar. I feel like... Is she gonna try to slip away? Just get away on her own? Because she doesn't trust anyone. There's no one here. It's just an altar. You're Catholic. And there's no time for that. Alright, well, that's fine. Go in then. I'll keep watch. Thank you. We won't be long. I watched as Louisa and her father enter the chapel. I still hadn't discovered what it was that she knew that was so valuable. The Italian government knew. The Germans, too. No, even God was going to know before me. I went to the edge of the mountain ledge to keep watch. I waited for a few moments. Peace descended. For myself, I paused on the threshold. You goats have it easy, I grumbled to the goats. Huh. I don't know, this theme with the goats keep on showing, this motif, the goat motif. Do I try to talk to a goat? Well, that seemed crazy. Let's just wait. Oh, left a footprint. Ah, crap, right? The view of the valley was beautiful. The mountains either side evoked the terror of the sublime, the comfort of stability and constancy. They held their villages with great care, like edelweiss flowers in a farmer's craggy hand. The Swiss were all well protected here. Little need for borders or lines of defense. God's work, some might say. I felt a great peace, divine or otherwise, I couldn't say. The Italians reappeared soon enough. Vercoli touched my arm. Did he look more confident or resolved? It was hard to say. Now we can go, Louisa said. Alright, I got two paths. Let's see, what's this? We zigzagged down the slope into Airolo, or there were a few bicycles behind the chapel, so we freewheeled into Airolo at high speed. Alright, let's take the bike. Why not? Please successfully. You have a strong lead on them, but remain vigilant. The train to Goshen... I don't know. Goshenen? Leaves whenever. Alright, we'll probably try to take the bus this time, right? Hotel... Alright, so... I guess, that's the only option, so let's take a look. Hotel of the Alps. Alright. This may be the last scene that we do for this episode. We ditched the stolen bikes on the outskirts of town. Airolo was a nice place. It offered us a moment to breathe. We took lunch in a hotel perched at the base of one mountain with a view across the valley to the next. We tore through our starters and soup. Louisa wiped both her hands in a napkin, then threw one of them in my general direction. We have still not been properly introduced. My name is Luisa Maria Alessandra Vercoli. Smith. Asherton White. A pleasure. I... Should I... be polite, I suppose? But you know, you do not have a name, I suppose, she persists. The Germans call you Smith. What's your first name? Marcus Smith? Everybody just calls me Smith. Just call me Smith. All my friends do. We'll tell her. Marcus is an Italian name. Louisa shook her head and waved a crust of bread. It does not suit you, she declared. She wiped her bowl around with the bread in an Italian manner. Is Smith your real name? Best if you do not know my real name. Yes, it is. It is what I answer to. Huh. Let's see where this goes. Smith is a very suspicious name. It's a name that unmarried lovers use when they want to spend the night together in a hotel. Vercoli looked at his daughter in some alarm. In novels, Papa, obviously, she added, patting him on the arm. Please excuse my daughter, Vercoli put in. She forgets her manners sometimes. I find manners to be overrated, I've noticed, and it's most refreshing. Time? Alright, let's see where this goes. Then you'll like my Louisa, he laughed, patting his daughter on the shoulder. Louisa shrank into his chair with embarrassment. She skewered a melon ball, then chomped it down with like a noisy child. You speak excellent English, Louisa. So tell me, Louisa, if you weren't escaping for your life, what would you be doing now? Are you with the fascists, or are you for Mussolini? I don't know. I'm kind of picking at random. Studying, she answered. I don't know which ones are supposed to get on people's good sides, bad sides, whatever. I'm just randomly picking now. Right? Studying, she answered. My daughter is training to be engineer, Vercoli began. They do not usually accept women, but they have made an exception for my Louisa on account of her special gifts. He beamed with a father's pride. My Louisa's memory is exceptional. How do you say that in English? Oh, exceptional. Louisa shot him a dark look as though he had shared a great secret but said nothing. Alright, so basically she has good memory. Coffee came with slabs of chocolate from a famous chocolatier in the Swiss town of Schwyz? I don't know. Allegedly. Vercoli broke his in half, put the other half on his daughter's plate. I stirred my coffee and gazed out at the view, or... We'll get you somewhere safe, I promise you. We need to get moving soon. Well, let's be a little bit more helpful. We thank you, Vercoli noted. Louisa seemed less convinced. Is anywhere safe anymore? We left the hotel and began to walk through the town. Suddenly, Louisa exclaimed, This is it. Do you remember the tunnel I told you about? It's here. I mean, somewhere. But I recognize the contours. And keep your eyes peeled for it. It might give us an advantage. Can you find it? Well, this sort of gives her a bit of responsibility. It might not be a bad thing. Except for she's now really not happy, according to that picture there. Vercoli noted. Louisa only frowned as though she was thinking about something else, but whatever it was, she didn't share. I decided we would head to Zurich. I don't need to tell you why, obviously. It was a good place to lie low and decide on a course. From there it would be easy to bundle them off to France by rail, though I hadn't said that. I think I'd be... Let's just be sort of obtuse. Keep us sort of in the unknown a bit longer. The only flaw in this plan was Zurich was over 100 miles away and we still had a Nazi on our tail. Alright, so we'll take the train. And then we will quickly go through this and then call that end. If Louisa's recollection of a secret tunnel out of Airolo was correct, then my guess for an entrance was somewhere in the military fort at the foot of the Gotthard Pass. The fort was a granite roof block sunk into the ground with a wide trench encircling it. It must have filled up with snow for 6 months of every year and buried the place completely. If there really is a tunnel, Louisa hissed as we crouched in a stand of bushes by the edge of the trench, then how are we going to get in it? I do not like tunnels, Vercoli added unhelpfully. I scouted the perimeter. Well, we could knock on the door and ask. We have to get in the fort somehow. Let's scout the perimeter. Peeping through some bushes, I reached the edge of the trench and peered down. The drop was about 6 feet. The trench ran in 2 directions, backwards towards the fort and away from it, sloping down towards a dark arched opening, a tunnel, just like Louisa said. I slithered over the edge and down into the trench, or I waited and watched. I scrambled back on the others, tell them what I had found. Let's watch first. No soldiers came in on a tunnel. It seemed likely it was never used. A scuffle in the bushes announced the arrival of Louisa. That's quite a drop, she observed, sticking her head out over the edge. It's not as far as it looks, or I'll go first. Do you think you can make it? Let's be a little considerate. I think so, yes. She didn't wait for further instruction, turned onto her stomach and slithered over the edge, landing in a pretty little heap. Well, you're right. I dropped down on the grass beside her. Well, stay there. I'll get your father. Let's... Doing that. Oof, I'm fine. Yes, I'm fine. She peered up at me, head tilted back. Are you coming? Should we get her father? I think we have to get her father, yeah? I scrambled back to where Vercoli was waiting, crouched behind a bush. I found the tunnel. Follow me. We scrambled back down the edge of the trench once more. Vercoli looked unconvinced. It's too far down. I'll break my ankles. Jump! Louisa waved him from below. It's not too far. I'll lower you down, primo. Sorry. Just go. I jumped down next. We'll do that. All 3 of you made it to the tunnel. I tried, Aubrey. I really did, but he fought me every inch of the way. At the last moment, I simply had to let go, let him drop in a heap. Well done, Papa. Louisa smiled, helping her father to his feet. He looked flushed. I slithered down. Then the 3 of us hurried along the trench into the darkness of the tunnel. Well, certainly with some hidden intel, let's progress to the next stop. It was just one path, so let's go. The tunnel was narrow and dark and disappeared under the mountain. And once that loads, we'll call it a day. Long enough episode anyway. Oh, we're in a mobile tunnel. We're walking along. And let's save the game. Alright. Thank you for watching. I am curious as to where this is going, and I hope you are as well. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.